MacArthur Park really was a meeting of the minds. This is a property owned and operated by RHF, the Retirement Housing Foundation. It's a low-income senior housing development property. It's a high-rise. It's got, I think, 183 units and just about the same amount of toilets. We were trying to demonstrate, the sizable water savings that can be had by monitoring a single fixture in an asset where the tenants, despite being maybe a vigilante plumber by night, aren't going to notice or report a toilet leak.
Especially in large apartment buildings, because a lot of them have moved to efficient toilets, replacing the whole fixture sometimes doesn't make sense. But most toilets leak, and it can be like 5,000 gallons a day.
This technology is really non-invasive for the tenants, which is great. It's something that's saving water that nobody's missing.
And so this is the sensor that goes in line on each toilet, notifies the maintenance team in real time, you have a toilet leaking right here, right now. They're not doing broad spectrum audits, they're not doing wild goose chase, leak hunts. They're simply fixing what needs to be fixed when it needs to be fixed. One of my silly adages is that the low flow toilet does a tremendous job at helping toilets flush less water, but our sensor helps toilets leak less water, and in tandem keeps it low flow.
When we think about this from an affordability or an equity perspective, especially when we're talking about low-income housing, it's important to remember that tenants are paying for their water. They're just paying for it through their rent. And when we think about that from an affordability perspective, we start to see that connection between water efficiency and water affordability.
And these leaks don't discriminate. Everyone experiences it. And when we implement on a Section 8 property or low-income housing property, and we can bundle that with some sort of rebate or subsidy, we're making this a multi-party effort. They get to save water and see their bill go down and save money, and now they have more capital latitude for other projects. And that's a rinse and repeat sort of story.
That can't happen without innovative collaborations. And this project was really, I think, a great example of that, of bringing together really diverse sectors and partners. So yes, Retirement Housing Foundation, which is a nonprofit housing authority, us at Pacific Institute, an environmental NGO, and then we had, Sensor Industries, the water tech company. We had Fortune 500 companies supporting this work. We had other environmental NGOs like Bonneville Environmental Foundation involved, the water utilities, and it really took all of us figuring out what our piece of the puzzle was to make this project come together. And I want that to not be unique. We need more of that.
We need to create partnerships that, for one, figure out the funding aspect of it, but as well that they make things happen faster, because capital is an issue. Even when a company may have it has a good ROI, it has a payback of less than 2 years or something like that, they just don't have the upfront capital in their budget this year. When we can bring in a partnership where they can eliminate that issue and have the upfront funding, that makes it work.
And I think it's starting with projects like this, even if it starts small, we have the ability to keep doing great projects like this, and they add up, they really do. And for example, with MacArthur Park Tower, we're just starting to get the results back. It's been installed for 7 months since last summer, and already we've seen over 1 million gallons of water saved, and that saving MacArthur Park Tower is about $10,000 in water bills just over the last 7 months.
We have to be smarter with our water. We cannot afford leaks, and not just financially, but in terms of supply.
We're in an all of the above scenario. We need the easy fixes like leak detection and changing out fixtures and appliances that don't require any behavior change. But we also need to realize that as Californians, we have a water conservation ethic that's part of living here and being in this water scarce region. And so it does require that knowledge and that awareness and that environmental ethic. But there is still so much that we can do quote unquote behind the scenes, or efficiency measures that don't have a direct impact on people's behaviors.
And so I think it's technologies like this that are eliminating waste, that are letting us live a more sustainable lifestyle without maybe requiring huge changes to ingrained habits that start to produce results that get people excited. And so the more that we can do to get ahead of that, to make sustainability, sustainable choices the default, the better. And I think this project is a great example of that.